Hello? Good evening, Manchester! Welcome to Ignite. Welcome to the Ignite Manchester Showcase finale. I think another round of applause, please. I want that energy. Let's keep that energy up. All night. I want that energy. All night, please. It's packed all the way to the back. I hope you can hear me. I can't really see anyone because of these lights, so I kind of feel like I can talk to myself. I don't mind that. I can see Ignite investors over here. I've seen Chris, Harry, and a few others. Good to see you. I've seen alumni, some legends in the room. I can see startups, investors, a couple of companies over here, all from the Manchester tech scene. This is what it's all about, bringing the legends, as I say, the A players from the Manchester tech scene together for one evening. I love this. But unfortunately tonight isn't just a piss up in Manchester. It is a Wednesday. We've all got work tomorrow supposedly. And it's not about me, thank God. It's about Ignite, and more importantly, it's about the 10 companies that we've been working with over the last 3 months. The 10 companies that have taken part in the first ever Ignite Manchester Accelerator program. A round of applause for those 10 guys, please. They're all sitting over here. If you haven't seen them already, they've been rehearsing on this stage all day today, so they've been great. Our office is upstairs. A bit later on, we'll be hearing the founders of the 10 companies we've been working with, pitching their businesses, pitching who they are, what they do, what they've been up to during Ignite, and what's next for them. But before we hear from that lot, obviously I hope most people in the room know what Ignite is, that's why you're here. Maybe some don't. So before we get started, I'd like to introduce someone to tell us a little bit more about Ignite, what we do, and what's next for us. So please, hands together, warm welcome for our CEO, Tristan Watson.
Good evening, thank you so much for coming. It's been 2 years, at least, in the planning to run a Manchester programme for Ignite. I remember Paul and I, we had a couple of false starts trying to get a programme started over here. Everything started to fall into place when George stepped into the role as programme director. And I just want to thank everyone for the warm welcome that you've given us as a Northeast programme. You've kind of really gone, actually no, this is about Northern Tech, we can all support each other. And the quality of the teams that we've had on this programme have been absolutely fantastic. I hope they're going to get used to the fact that we're going to be pointing at them quite a lot tonight. In fact, can I get them all to stand up? All of the founders who are on the programme, can you all stand up, please? We've worked really, really closely with them over 13 weeks. I won't pretend that it hasn't sometimes been a bit frustrating at it, infuriating, Josh, and sometimes it's a bit weird, Sadra. But it's been an absolute pleasure from start to finish. You've been fantastic, and I honestly can't imagine a better start to Ignite in Manchester than these 10 companies. So everyone, can you please give them a really, really big round of applause? Right, thank you. Okay, come on. So, for those of you who don't know about Ignite, we've been going since 2011. We've worked with over 100 companies. This is our 12th program that we've run. And it's going pretty well, to be honest. It's had its ups and its downs, but we have invested in some incredibly fantastic teams from not just all over the UK, but from all over Europe and from all over the world. So it's been a real ride for us. We started in Newcastle. This year we expanded into Manchester and into London as well. And I'm really, really excited to announce that next year we're going to be launching in Edinburgh too. We're looking to hire a programme director in Edinburgh. So if you know anyone who's up there, who's connected to the startup scene, please introduce them to us. If you know someone who wants to keep their European passport and move up to Edinburgh, then, connect them to us as well, okay? But it's not just the main programs that we run. We actually run pre-accelerators, and we're taking this on tour all across the country. George launched the very first one here in Manchester at the beginning of the year. Martin's currently running one in Croydon. For those of you who don't know, Martin's our program director for Ignite London. Give everyone a wave, please, Martin. And you've already met George, and I'd like to introduce our program manager, Flossie, as well, at the back there. Give everyone a wave, please, Flossie. So we're taking our pre-accelerator, which is a part-time, completely free program, around the country. Basically, our aim is to help the best founders build the best companies. And we don't think that that means that you have to go full-time on it straight away. Actually, often the best way is to have an idea and then to test it. And that's exactly what the pre-accelerator is designed to do. I want to talk a little bit about the successes that we've had already this year. This is just a few of the dozen companies from Ignite who've raised already in 2016. In fact, so far this year, our companies have raised nearly £8 million between them. So I think that deserves a round of applause. To put that in context, in the whole of 2015, Ignite companies raised 10 million. We're nearly on that just in half the year. I think the pace at which the companies that we invested in have started to grow now, especially the ones that are a couple of years old, starting to go through their Series A, is absolutely incredible. And I know that some of the companies you're going to see here tonight are going to be making up that statistic next time I tell it. Now, I think there is a fair criticism of the startup ecosystem in general, that we focus too much on raises, on valuation, on stuff that isn't really tangible businesses. So I wanted to kind of address that. Ignite companies employ more than 200 people across the country. And between them, they're turning over more than £20 million. And that's as of right now. In 6 months' time, that will go up again. Now, that's still only a drop in the ocean, but imagine what those companies are going to be doing in 5 years' time and 10 years' time. I'm a great believer in the fact that we need to support companies all the way from a really early stage, but give them support all the way through their growth as well. And I think, especially after we've seen what's happened in the economy and in the country in the last couple of weeks, it's more important than ever that we invest in really strong companies who are going to provide real growth across the country. I really don't like the stuff that's going on at the moment about London-only visas, about special support for London companies. Actually, the only way that as a country we're going to work our way out of the situation is by investing across the country and making sure that we share that economic prosperity. So that's why running programs like this across the regions is more important than ever. So thank you very much for all of your support. So, we support founders in any way possible. So far this year, we've worked with over 500 founders across our office hours, across our pre-accelerators, across our workshops, female founder program that we ran in London, and we're going to continue doing more of that. So, once again, thank you to you, because your support for these companies makes all of this possible. We're here for one reason, and that's to make companies like this successful. And I can't wait in 5 years' time when we're doing the next Ignite Manchester, will probably be Ignite Manchester 8 by then, to get some of these to come back and tell us their stories from them. So thank you very much. I'm going to hand you back over to George, and he's going to introduce you to the founders. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, here we are. What was I going to say? Thanks for that, Tristan. Forget about that Edinburgh, London, Newcastle bollocks. We're in Manchester. This is where it's happening here. And we're here tonight. I can't actually believe we're here with a showcase with all these beautiful people that I can't see. 10 great companies, fantastic investors. So I kind of wanted to go back to the start really quickly before we introduce the teams. I think a few of you, quite a few, who was here for the Ignite launch, like 6 months ago, quite a few of the people in the room. Thanks, Matt. That feels like a long time ago now, and since then we've done quite a bit here in Manchester. In January we started doing office hours to support founders that were maybe early stage and just needed advice and support. My first 6 weeks were fully booked in Manchester for office hours. The last 6 months I've done, I think, 100 sessions of office hours, just trying to give advice for people to meet Ignite, get support from our team, from our alumni, which has been great. As Tristan said, we launched the first ever pre-accelerator here in Manchester. I think we had 65 applications for the pre-accelerator, all from Manchester. We took on 10 early stage teams. I think the purpose of the pre-accelerator is to progress early stage founders to either fail faster or make 4 months progress in the space of 4 weeks. I think we had 5 fail in the space of 4 weeks, which to me is great. You don't want to spend the rest of your life working on ideas that are never going to happen. I love that. That's why we set up the pre-accelerator. And actually, 2 of the teams that were on the pre-accelerator graduated, were fast-tracked to our selection process, and were selected for the full accelerator, which makes me very proud. So well done to you 2 as well. Really good. Round of applause, maybe. Yeah, let's have it. Yeah. And then straight into March, we closed selection for the full accelerator for these guys here. We had over 400 applications from around the world. We had to bring it down to 30 teams that we interviewed over at Barclays, our partners, back in March, and we had to select 10 teams, which was really difficult. And before we knew it, that's day 1 here in the office upstairs with the 10 companies that are here tonight. And I think the guys will agree, the first sort of, a lot of people know about Ignite, but maybe don't know quite what we do internally, what the content is, how do we work with these teams. But before I go into that, we're backed. I think another thing that people don't know is we're backed by some world-class investors, genuinely some of the best angel investors in the country. So you might know some of the faces that are here tonight: Chris Haslam, Harry Manley, experienced entrepreneurs, experienced angel investors, Scott Fletcher, Tom Bloxham, big names up in Manchester. I couldn't actually fit all of the angel investors that have backed Ignite onto this slide. Steve Pankhurst, founder of Friends Reunited, sold for 100-odd million to ITV. Doug Scott, Damien Lane, and many more. So we're backed by some of the best. And the reason we do that is we invest this money and we take this money from angel investors, but then these guys are a big part of adding value to the teams. They're involved with the program, they help the teams out, they've got a wealth of experience, and it's a big part of what we do. So I'd like to thank these guys as well. Ignite is a 13-week program. We started in April. This is the final week of the program in July. And as I was saying before, it's intense. I think if you speak to any of the teams here tonight, it's not easy, especially the first 4 weeks. There's mentoring sessions here. This is in London. We do weekly reviews with the teams, make them accountable for their progress and really make sure they're focusing on the right things. It's very important. We do sessions for everything from product all the way through to sales and growth here. And this is another Q&A with some of the most successful CEOs and founders that we've invested in over the last 5 years. First 4 weeks is incredible, really intense, and there's some highlights as well of the program. Yes, we are based up here in Manchester, but it's important that the teams spend some time in London. We've got a team down there in London. We run programs down there. We've got a great network, and there's some great people down there, as well as good money and good investors. So it's important for us to provide our teams with at least a footprint and a link to the London market, which is important. So we took the teams down to London 2 or 3 times over the last 13 weeks. We're the first ever accelerator in Europe to add a Wellbeing Retreat to this Manchester accelerator. Hasn't been done before here. I think for me personally, I've run a business before and we've invested in hundreds of founders now. And the mental health and the well-being of founders is like of utmost priority to Ignite as a company. We invest in real people. We invest in real people, and this shit's hard. Like starting up and running a company is not easy. The kind of things from burnout to stress to life balance are things that aren't talked about when you talk to VCs or investors. And I felt it was important that we bring this into the program. And I think if you speak to the guys, it went really well. And I think Martin Bryan's here in the room. He wrote a really good piece that really did go viral and put us on the map for putting well-being of founders to the forefront of our industry. So thank you to him as well. And we took one founder from each team to the US as well. as well as London, I think it's important that, we're quite British at times. We can be humble. We can be quite sort of play ourselves down. When you go out to the American market and speak to investors, and especially founders, and you ask them what they do, they tell you, I'm changing the world. And they mean it, they seriously mean it. So as part of the program, we take the teams out to meet our friends out there. We've got alumni, we've got people we've invested in, we've got friends, we've got investors, we know accelerators out there. And it's a week trip to give all the founders a snapshot of what life's like across the Atlantic. So we went out there for a week, fantastic trip, and the teams came back energized, and it was great to see them making those connections out there, because I think longer term, it is important for these guys to think big. It is possible for you to be sitting in a room tonight with a startup, and in 2 years, to have an office in the Empire State. We've seen it, honestly. Before investor lunches as well, another big part of the cohort effect, seeing these guys here today. When we selected these 10 companies, we didn't know how they'd get on. I remember saying on day one, you might not get on, I might not like you by the end of the program. Like, genuinely that happens, but a massive part of what we do, like when else in life do you put 25 of the very best in a room for 3 months? That's what happens. So honestly, I almost don't need to do any of this stuff. I could just leave that lot there, and just putting those bright minds in a room for 3 months is amazing in itself. Seeing the friendships, seeing how they connect, and longer term, that'll stick around. So we do socials, we make sure that's a big part of the journey, and it really is a big part of what we do with Ignite. And then as we sort of climax towards the latter stages of the program with tonight, last week the teams were in London, also in Manchester. The latter stage of the program, we accelerate these teams. We make them grow faster, move quicker, focus on the right things, and ultimately, a lot of these teams are more investable come the end of the program. To mark the end of the program, we have 4 investor lunches where the guys meet 40, 50 investors towards the end of the program. To look towards beyond Ignite, raising a seed round. And these guys have been meeting the investors last week, and a lot of them have a lot of interest. One of them's already closed an investment as well, and that's a big part of what we do too, so that was great. Which brings us to tonight, the showcase. It's not a demo day, it's more of a showcase of how far these guys have come. We're going to present now, one by one. We've got the order of teams. I'm going to do a quick introduction to each team, and you won't hear from me much anymore. I'm done. You hear from the real talent in the room. So, first up, we have a founder that I remember meeting on office hours, as Tristan said, over Skype. I remember Colin saying to me, we've got a product that people kind of want to pay for, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where to take it, I don't know where to go. I remember coming off that Skype call and thinking, I found a gem. I found a gem that's perfect for a night. And if you look at how far he's come from that first Skype call today, he's come a long way. So let me first introduce Colin, the CEO of Recruit.
Thank you. Recruiters. We've all worked with them, and I'm sure everybody has their own opinion of them. But today, I'd like to take you behind the scenes and have a look at what it's really like to be a recruiter. Picture this. You're a recruiter. You're sat at your desk and the phone rings. It's your best client. They've got a new role for you, but they want 5 candidates by the end of the day. Your internal database has 2 million candidates in it. So you need to take that job spec, identify the key skills, and sift through those 2 million records until you find the 20 or so best that you can then screen, call, and select a top 5 from. Recruiters tell us this takes between 2 and 4 hours of their day, which is a monumental waste of their time. And that's where we come in. On our platform, the same process takes between 2 and 4 minutes. How do we do that? We've built an intelligent algorithm that combines natural language processing, advanced analytics, and machine learning to understand what makes a CV a great fit for a job. And unlike the manual method, the bigger the database, the better the results. The benefits are obvious. You, as a recruiter, can take on more roles, build better relationships, and place more candidates. What's more, you can beat your competitors to the punch every single time. So, where are we? We came onto this program with revenue. Since then, we've added 25%, built a strong pipeline of local companies, and have several trials starting this month. After the program, we plan on taking that to the rest of the country, starting with London. But I just want to reflect on the size of the market for a moment, because recruitment is bigger than you might think. Last year, it turned over £31.5 billion in the UK alone. Globally, more than £300 billion. And in the UK, there are over 100,000 recruiters working at around 20,000 companies. And that gives us a total addressable market of around £300 million just in the UK. So who are we? I'm Colin, the CEO, and I've been working with recruiters for over 4 years. Prior to that, I was building analytical software for investment banks. Eric, our CTO, also has a banking background, but has a maths PhD and is something of a machine learning expert. We have a proven track record of building software that recruiters love. So what's next? We're raising. We're going to build out our platform, interface with all the major recruitment CRMs, and ramp up our sales. I'm Colin. Thank you so much for coming down tonight, and I hope to speak with everyone later. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Fantastic start, thank you very much.
Second up, we have a company using technology to make us fitter, healthier, better people. I need that. And also, they've got a great team, and the next founder that's pitching tonight, he's a bit of a character. So I'd like to introduce you to Josh, the CEO of WeGym.
I'm glad everybody's got booze tonight. I hope you get it. Hi, I'm Josh, and admittedly, this time last year, I was fat. I preferred pies to pull-ups, I had a gym membership, and I never ever went, and it was all because I went to the gym by myself. You see, it's hard on your own. And after a long day's work, the last thing I can do is muster up the motivation to get to the gym. But by chance, I found someone I could go to the gym with. A gym buddy saved me. So I thought to myself, I can't be the only one. I'm not the only one who struggles with motivation. So we went out and spoke to hundreds of people. And I was right, I wasn't the only one. They told us they hated training alone. So we digged even deeper. And we realized, when we researched, that 95% of people who go to the gym with someone else achieve their fitness goals. The problem was, there was nothing that existed to help you find someone. So we would like to introduce to you WeGym. It's a community and an app that helps you stay motivated by finding a gym buddy. It's literally motivation in your pocket. And this is how it works. Let's take, for example, Becky. She's a beginner who goes to the gym 3 evenings a week. Using WeGym, she can firstly commit to a weekly schedule and start posting her workouts on the app. The moment she posts a workout, anyone who's a beginner that goes in the evening in the same gym as her receives a notification. She can meet that person, start training, and guess what? She never has to train alone again. She gets the motivation she needs. And even better, we launched during Ignite 5 weeks ago and have seen hundreds of downloads. We're really seeing early signs of traction. Users are posting on the app and starting to train with each other. And you know what? We've even gotten a few ourselves. And our users love it. So who's the stellar team behind this? I've known Jack for the last 3 years, and we both started our career doing an apprenticeship. He did his with Google, and mine through Microsoft. He's been coding since his teens, and he's damn well groomed if I don't say so myself. And for me, I personally know how frustrating it can be trying to go to the gym by yourself. So where's the opportunity here? I know, how do we make money? We're licensing a section of the app to gyms. They can now reduce their churn, increase their reach, and really be a part of a far bigger community than they would on their own. So why now? There's something called social fitness. For the first time, more people are training together in groups and classes, all using technology. There's never been a better time to go into the health and fitness industry, because 1 in 7 Britons are now members of a gym. Yeah, 1 in 7. So we believe the future is social, and WeGym is strategically positioned to bring that to reality. I'm Josh from WeGym. You can download the app now. Thank you very much.
Told you his character. Thank you, Josh. Thirdly, the next company we have. Sometimes at Ignite we have companies come into the process with one company, with one idea, and come out the other end with something very different. It happens through rigorous feedback, through mentoring, and through a lot of the work we do. At the end of the day with Ignite, we invest in great founders first and foremost, who we believe will build big businesses. And I genuinely believe that these guys could be one of those. Please welcome Rishi, the CEO of GetInfluence.
Good evening, I'm Rishi and I'm the co-founder of GetInfluence. Advertising is broken. Brands spend billions of pounds a year on billboards, banner ads and magazines. But that's not where their customers are looking. We spend most of our day with our heads buried in our mobile devices. And much of that time is spent on social media. And that's where brands need to be. So let me tell you about the power of social media. This is Lawrence, and he's a personal trainer on Instagram. 15,500 of us follow him on a daily basis for motivation, inspiration, and advice. He's built a trusted and engaging community of people around him. The things that Lawrence does and buys has an influence on us, and this is where brands want to be. Marketing to people like me through the people that I trust. Lawrence is a micro-influencer, and there are tens of thousands of people just like him on Instagram. And we're building a marketplace that connects the right brands with the right Instagrammers. For every influencer registered on our database, we provide smart intelligence to the brands. We give smart discovery tools that helps the brands find the right influencers for their product. And for every campaign that's run through our platform, we provide analytics and statistics on the success of every campaign so brands can start to prove ROI. We launched last month on Ignite, and we're currently focused on the food and drinks market. And we're already working with 5 national brands on our pilot campaigns. Fentimans are a British heritage brand that have been around for over 100 years. They want to target the wheat and gluten-free community with their ginger beer. Vivid want to target entrepreneurs and thinkers with their new matcha drink. And Neat Nutrition, they're a trendy new fitness and protein brand that has found someone like Lawrence with the data that we provide them on our marketplace. Our self-service platform will enable thousands of small businesses to be able to do the same. So there's currently 2 of us, and as you can see, we're not influencers, but we have great skills and great experience. I've worked in digital marketing for 8 years, and I have a huge passion, understanding, and knowledge of lifestyle brands. My co-founder, Stephen, has been working in tech for 20 years. He previously co-founded a web agency and has built a team of 40 people. We have an amazing advisor, and now we're looking to raise so we can build our team, scale our platform, £1.2 billion a year is spent on social media marketing in the UK. Content creators and influencers are at the forefront of this, and we want to place our brands right in front of them, right in front with them, helping them make smarter decisions and helping them spend their budgets wisely. My name's Rishi, we're GetInfluence. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you, Rishi. Next up, what do I need to say about these guys? Sally. So me personally, I've got a little brother and a little sister, like many of us here. And I don't think I would ever go into business with my little sister. I don't think I could. It would be a nightmare. The next company, I managed to do that. They work as a great team. They love working with each other somehow. And they're working on an extremely exciting business together. Please welcome Sadra, the CEO of the Lux London.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yeah? Yeah. I'm Sadra, CEO and co-founder of the Lux London. We are building the net-a-porter of Iran and the Middle East. I'm Iranian. Whenever I mention this, most people think of oil, sanctions, or conflict. The reality is, Iran has changed a lot over the last 40 years. It now consists of a young, educated, and affluent population. However, they don't have access to most brands we find here in the UK. Due to the sanctions, these brands have found it difficult or even impossible to enter Iran. This is because online shopping is a novelty. They can't get payment from customers, and carriers don't ship to Iran. So for our friends and family back in Iran looking to buy the biggest brands, they have two options. Either buy cheaply made fakes, or a very limited genuine range at up to 4 times the regular price. So this got us thinking, if our relatives are so eager to buy these brands, then maybe there's a bigger market there. To test the market, we set up a small one-page website, got on Instagram, and made our first £1,000 in just 3 weeks. This was the inspiration for the Lux London. We are the first and only luxury e-commerce platform operating in the untapped and lucrative Iranian market. We've overcome some of the biggest barriers to entry using services like Instagram and Telegram, which are already hugely popular in Iran, to directly engage with our customers. Integrating our own payment gateway for domestic debit cards, and using our shipping partners to send items directly to the customer's front door. We've grown up quite a bit over the past 17 months. We now have a growing catalogue of more than 40,000 products. We have over 150,000 Instagram followers, and our customers love us. We engage with our customers on the individual level to provide them a premium personal shopping experience, a concierge service using Iran's biggest messaging platform, latest fashion advice through our daily blog, and a never-before-seen British standard customer service. All of this has meant that customers keep coming back, with an average lifetime spend of over £700 per user. As a result, we've had sales of more than £130,000. E-commerce in Iran is now worth more than £200 million. In comparison with a similar population, the UK market is worth over £84 billion. E-commerce is set to explode in Iran, and we are perfectly poised to be the #1 fashion retailer in Iran and then the Middle East. Our biggest unfair advantage over the competition is our team. We are a brother and sister. We lived half our life in Iran and the other half here in the UK. This allows us to deal with our customers in the best way possible. I have a business background. I've set up a few startups with training in the foreign exchange market. This has allowed us to start with a solid foundation. Ari is very fashion forward and she's always on the lookout for the next fashion trend. She's worked for big organisations such as John Lewis, so understands great customer service. So what's next for us? We're already breaking even with expected sales of more than £185,000 this year alone. We're looking for 180,000 to speed up this growth and reach sales of over £1 million within the next year. This will allow us to dominate the market and build the Lux brand. We know the market. We are the market. Thank you so much. I'm Sadra from the Lux London.
Thank you, Sadie. Awesome. Okay, next up. A lot of businesses are created out of experience or pain points. As a brainy engineering student at the University of Cambridge, running societies and events, our next founder believed she could do it better, she can manage these events better. So she dropped out of university and decided to do something about it. Please welcome a man, the CEO of Global Dawn.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Amanda Tack and I'm the CEO of Global Dawn. I'm going to tell you a story about university clubs and societies. We help connect them to their members and we're doing this through communities. It all started when I was at university. We ran the oldest and largest society at the University of Cambridge, the Engineering Society, bringing together like-minded students with an interest in building, creating and innovating through engineering. We organised events and activities, welcomed prominent speakers. I took the responsibility of running this society very seriously and used a number of tools in order to do this. Like in organising anything, it takes planning, time and commitment. There were challenges that we found in the management tools we were using. So we were constantly sending emails to our members, collecting payments in an old-fashioned manner of checks and bank transfers, and raising funding, which was essential in supporting our activities, was sending traditional proposals via cold emails. And we saw that there were clubs and societies across the country trying to navigate through this chaos. So we decided to do something about it. We built Global Dawn. Global Dawn is a platform for university clubs and societies, for them to centralise their correspondence, to organise and schedule events, create proposals and submit them to corporate sponsors directly through our platform. So where are we now? We've grown our community to 12,000 students in the last month. And we've been talking to brands about the value in reaching the student audience. Brands are keen to work with us as they can send targeted messages to particular student audiences through our communities of societies. We'll be running 2 pilot campaigns in the coming months with a revenue potential of £8,000. This gives Global Dawn an A+ in my eyes. So who are we? So I'm Amanda Tack. I was on the student union at the University of Cambridge, ran a number of societies. I take a lead on product and I enjoy talking to brands. I work with Amir Deng, who's worked and studied at LSE. She spends a lot of time on campus engaging with our societies. So we're gearing up for Freshers, where we see our projected reach to go from 12,000 students to 100,000, 2 universities to 10. And we're keen tonight to talk to strategic partners or investors who can see the value in tapping into the £15 billion student market. Please do come and say hello, and thank you for coming tonight, everyone. Amanda Tack, CEO of Global Dawn.
Thank you, Amanda. Great. Next up, we have a founder that for me defines the type of founder that we love to invest in and work with. We met Paul, I think, at the pre-accelerator, just before the pre-accelerator, and he had an idea for a business. By the end of the pre-accelerator, he'd signed his first live trial and had his first customer. So we fast-tracked him to the selection process for the full accelerator. By the time we got to the full accelerator, he had 2 or 3, I think, customers live with the product. And it just showed that not only did Paul have an exciting business, but he's the type of founder that makes stuff happen. So please put it together and introduce the CEO of Socially, Paul Mosley. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Paul. I'm the CEO and founder of Socially. My previous business was the first Instagram printing service in Europe. We printed our customers' photos on a range of cool products and delivered them to their door. We asked our customers to take photos of the prints they'd received and share them on social media. Taking these customer photos and embedding them on our own website brought about some dramatic results, a doubling in the conversion rate. It turns out that potential customers love seeing real people using real products in real situations. So this got me thinking, if this works for us, this should work for other people. And I began doing some research. If we take a look at a brand we'd all know, Pandora Jewelry, there are 42,000 photos of their customers enjoying their products on social media. I had a look at their website and I couldn't see one. Another example, Ted Baker. Nearly 500,000 pieces of real, genuine customer content on Instagram alone. I had a look at their website and again, I couldn't see a single one. There are 2 billion photos shared online each and every day, many of these relating to brands. It turns out brands don't know these photos exist, don't know where to find them, or don't know if they can use them. And because of this, we created Socially. Socially is a platform that allows brands to discover, license and use the best customer-generated content surrounding their brand. Our analytics package can show how well images are performing and suggest any changes that need to be made. Let's take a look at a real example. Here, Socially has done the hard work to scour the internet and find the best photos that have been taken by customers relating to this product. The brand can then use Socially to easily request permission to use these photos and to curate them into beautiful, responsive galleries on their websites. And the results, again, have been impressive. Close to a doubling in the conversion rate. If we apply this to a real-life example of a medium-sized e-commerce site with 100,000 visitors to this page over the course of a year at an average transaction value of £50, the brand would earn over £100,000 in additional revenue per year by having this customer-generated content in place. We're already working with some of the largest fashion, jewellery and footwear retailers in the country, and our revenue over the Ignite programme has risen to over £1,000 per month. But this is only the beginning. We want to use real customer content to empower the next generation of online e-commerce. Because so much data exists around these photos, we can create real, personalised shopping experiences based on factors such as gender or location. The team that's delivered this so far is myself. I founded a number of online businesses, and Constantine, who is a highly skilled and experienced developer. He's been coding for over 10 years. We have first-class marketing, administration, and advisor support. So what's next? We're looking to raise £200,000 to take the product onto the next level and achieve our revenue targets of £20,000 per month next year. The future of e-commerce marketing is real, customer-generated content, and we are perfectly positioned to take advantage of this trend. My name is Paul, we are Socially, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Paul. Next up, we have a team. It's quite a funny story. When I first met this company, it was actually in the selection process, in the interview process for Ignite. It was over Skype, and they're abroad in Europe. And I heard that they're from Berlin through Skype. So I thought I'd welcome these guys to Manchester. I'd get a nice artist to paint a mural on the wall with some landmarks from Berlin, so that I'd welcome them from Europe. Turns out they're from Athens and Hamburg. So they had to sit facing a wall with Berlin above them for the last 13 weeks, so I just wanted to apologise on stage for that mistake, because it was me that misheard you. So I've travelled a long way to be here tonight at the showcase. Please welcome Demetrius, the co-founder of Art Wishlist.
Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? Good? Well, so I'm Demetrius, and I'm the co-founder of Art Wishlist. The art market is booming. Never before in the history of art have so many people bought and sold art as in the last 12 months. But how do you actually buy an artwork? Well, it is really not that simple, because there are just too many options. You could try to go to a gallery, you could call up your dealer, you could go to an auction house, visit an art fair, and if nothing helps, you end up searching online. Selling art is equally hard. So let's say you have an artwork and you would like to sell it. You can take it to the auction house, but there it might never sell. Or you could go to a dealer, only to find out that he has no access to a buyer. So what is this? Is this an artwork? This is actually the amount of art that's actively traded on the market. And you know what that is? That is the amount of art hanging in people's homes, in their collections, and currently left outside the market. That market is worth 1.8 trillion. And we believe this is a huge and untapped opportunity to bring into the actively traded market. Because buying and selling fine art really shouldn't be this hard. But this is an industry that hasn't changed in over 200 years. Well, that was until today, because today I'd like you to meet Glass. Glass is an on-demand art advisor, and it works really simple so that you can buy and sell art really, really easily. It works like this. You take an image of the artwork, you send it to Glass, and you will get an instant valuation, and with just one tap, you can connect to a buyer or seller. Glass simplifies the value chain of buying and selling art by providing you with one single access point that you can contact. Now, where are we today? We launched during Ignite, and over the past few months, we have steadily grown the inventory provided to us by sellers in the market. We started with art worth $50 million, and we've grown that to over $115 million today. That is $8 million in potential revenue that we could achieve in just the next 12 months. Our mission is to build the biggest catalog of art in order to make it easier to buy and sell art. And the first step towards the vision is opening up our database to the wider public. So today, I'm happy to announce the launch of our Open Art API, and to announce that we have one partner we are in conversation with that will bring our art database to their 50 million users. Behind the numbers, there is a team. There is Christian, my co-founder, an art advisor with years of experience working in the front lines of the market. There's Romanos, our CTO, a PhD candidate and specialist in APIs. And there's me. I have a business background, I've worked in technology corporates and strategy consulting firms, and I'm the connecting link between those two. This team is backed by a team of seasoned entrepreneurs and experienced executives, both from tech and art. And today we're raising investment. We're raising a round of £300,000, and we have half of the round committed from people in the market already. If you're an investor interested in the market, or an investor who can help us scale the business, we'd love to talk to you. I'm Demetrius. This was our wish list. Thank you all for coming today.
Thank you, Dimitri. Next up, we have a Manchester company, a company that I met in office hours back in January, February time. They impressed me with a beautiful product, so I thought they'll do on the pre-accelerator. On the pre-accelerator, they're impressed with their attitude, ability to learn, their hustle, they make stuff happen. And in the selection process, they're impressed with their team. They're a young, ambitious team working on a big problem in a huge industry. Please welcome Joss, the CEO of Flyer.
I'm Joss Sparks, CEO and co-founder of Flyer. Now I want to tell you a story of a club night in Manchester. They'd organised an event, they'd sorted the venue, they'd sorted the artists, and 3 days before the event started, they'd sold 6 tickets. They were on track to lose thousands of pounds, and possibly their reputation. So what went wrong? Well, let's look at who they booked. Firstly, CMA. Now, he had a great Facebook following, awesome Twitter engagement. What they didn't realise was one little detail. His following was in London and Bristol. He just wasn't in demand up here. What about Swish? Again, awesome following on social media. Luckily, it was a following in Manchester, but again, it was one small detail. He played in the last month in Manchester. He just wasn't fresh. In 2016, event organisers still book entirely off instinct, leading to thousands of events, just like this one, being cancelled every year. That's why we created Flyer. Flyer is a booking and analytics platform that allows event organisers to make an informed decision on who they're booking. We analyse over 1 million data points from across the web to show not only how popular an artist is, but also exactly where they're being listened to. When the event organiser is ready to book, we facilitate this booking in one click on our platform. Our business model is super simple. We take a 5% fee from the booking price. Compare that to the 30 to 10% that's the industry standard, and that's tiny. We launched version 1 in Ignite. We're currently working with 11 event organisers and analysing over 1,000 artists in the UK. So what about the team? Rob, our CTO, has a wealth of technical experience, coming from his background of being a senior software engineer at Capital One. Alex is both a DJ and an artist, and has helped organise events across the UK with hundreds of thousands of attendees. And myself, I run a successful blog, music blog, with 30,000 reach, and I've run teams of up to 30 people, sales teams. So what's next for us? We're going to continue to develop and expand the platform. We're going to be looking for a round of investment towards the end of the year to help accelerate this growth, to really become the #1 artist booking platform in the UK. I'm Joss, this is Flyer, and I look forward to speaking to you all after.
Thank you, Joss. Whatever. Next up, we have another European company that I actually got the place right this time. They're from Milan, Italy. Is that right? Yeah. These guys, for the interview process for the selection process, flew in the night before, flew into London, got the bus up. They actually made it on time, and there's some teams from London, some teams from Manchester that got the wrong day and were late. I won't mention names. So they're already in our good books. They're already half foot in the door to Ignite. And if you speak to these guys after, they've got some amazing stories of how they bootstrapped this business in the early days. I won't tell you too much. I'll let you ask Domenico. So please give a warm welcome to Domenico, the CEO of BizSpotted.
Hi to everyone, I'm Domenico, the CEO of BizSpotted. When I was a university student, I realized that something was changing. 5 years ago, I usually posted on Facebook very personal content. Every emotion, every opinion, everything. And I love to do that. I really love to do that. But now, I use Facebook just for sharing content found around the web. My friends do the same. And also the way young people are using the platform has changed. For younger users, Facebook is not the place for personal content anymore. And this is not just a theory. Social media is changing, but young people continue to have the same needs. So we created Bespotted. Bespotted is a mobile platform where university students can create a second identity without exposing the real one. They can share their opinions, their passions, moments of their university life. But they can also share their problems, questions, and secrets they will never share on other social platforms for the fear to be judged. Every content is shared by students, with students, people that are sharing the same period of life and have the same needs. An exclusive community, a private social network, a new form of communication. Bespotted is all this. We launched the platform in Italy, reaching an incredible result. 1,200 students using our app every single day, and our 5,000 monthly active users generating more than 700 posts, comments, private messages each month. And we serve a huge market. There are 180 million university students in the world right now, and by 2025 there will be more than 260. A new form of communication for a new way to advertise. Every day we collect data. We collect information that other social platforms can't have. The more content are published on Bespotted, the more valuable they become. We can target our users by emotions, by feelings, allowing companies to understand this market much better and join in the students' conversation. And we are raising to scale the platform starting by September. And our goal is to reach 200,000 active users by the end of the next year. And this is our family. A CTO, Andrea, that manages all the Android and iOS development, in addition to be an extremely good problem solver. And Alessio, a full-stack developer with more than 5 years of experience in software development and a deep knowledge in everything about server infrastructure. And me, a CEO focused on growth hacking and product development that just ran different successful businesses in the past, in growth, in social media, and in e-commerce. Social media is changing because the world is changing. We are Bespotted, and we are crazy enough to believe that we can be that change. Thank you.
Thank you, Domenico. Last one.
I'm the best one.
You've ruined my bit now. So I was going to say, at the start of the program on day one, I asked for 3 things from the founders. That's it. They're not rules, they're just values. Number 1, 100% commitment. I'm committed to you, you commit to me and my team. Number 2, respect. Respect each other, respect the investors, the mentors that we put you in touch with. And 3, transparency. Like, we're working together now, we're investors, we want to know everything that's going on with your business. And what I was going to say, Atif, was that this guy's done exactly that from start to finish. I think my team and the guys would agree. Atif's a great founder. He's working on a business that could change the future of education. So please welcome Atif, the CEO of Lucy.
Thank you.
I'll do that again. Yeah.
So, before I start, sometimes these guys refer to me as Angry Dad, and by the end of the presentation, you'll know why. So, 4 out of 10 newly qualified teachers leave the teaching profession within the first year. Why is that? A majority of teachers blame this on workload and planning, and there are 340 million lessons taught each year in the UK. And this is how teachers plan lessons right now. Completely madness, right? Can you imagine how long it takes to plan lessons in this way? And if we reflect on this just for a few seconds, and better yet, think about a family member who's a teacher. If you're a school governor, think about the teachers in your schools. Or when you go parents' evening, think about the teacher opposite who looks tired with their circles in their eyes. Now you know why. And as a former teacher and as a father, this is something I deeply care about, because how many teachers will be left in the teaching profession in the next 2, 3, 4 years to teach my daughter and your children? And that's why we developed Lumacy Slate, an online educational platform that enables teachers to plan lessons collaboratively, saving teachers 20 hours a week on planning. It allows teachers to design lessons that give students structure, and it gives teachers the ability to monitor progress in real time. How do we save teachers 20 hours a week on planning? 4 simple steps. Step 1, plan your lesson online with other teachers collaboratively. Step 2, use a pre-built lesson template or create a lesson from scratch using easy drag and drop features. Step 3, assign the lesson to your students. And then step 4, monitor progress in real time. Since releasing Lumacy Slate, we have 2,000 students and 500 teachers using the platform every single day. And that number is increasing week on week. Only last week I went to an event, we picked up 3 schools within a half an hour. Our monthly recurring revenue has increased by 60% over the last 10 weeks. We're going to take this step by step. Our current focus is on the 25,000 schools and colleges in the UK alone. And we anticipate to be in 1 in every 5 schools over the next 3 years. We will then focus on the 7,000 English medium-sized schools overseas and the US market. And you probably know this. There's a rapid adoption of tablet devices in schools and colleges right now. And schools and colleges are looking for an effective workflow solution. And Lumacy Slate caters for that need. Before I move on, there's a misconception within education which I'd like to address. And today's your lucky day because you have got misconceptions within education, you can ask me and I'll answer your questions. It's difficult to sell into education, I hear that all the time. Schools in the UK spend £900 million a year on education technology. Not on furniture, not on pens and pencils, on educational technology. And we export 17.5 billion worth of educational technology overseas every year. If you give schools what they want, they will buy. Our team, Kate, brings a wealth of experience and connections within education. She's worked in education for 20 years, and she's worked for 2 of the biggest education companies in the UK. Goran is our CTO. He's worked on scalable applications, including a number of educational startups over in the US. And myself, I'm a former teacher, director of learning technologies, and I've worked for Cambridge Assessment, which is the biggest exam board internationally, as project manager. We're looking to raise £250,000 of investment. We have the foundation to grow and scale Lumacy Slate and to dominate the UK market, and then to replicate this internationally. The investment will help unlock the potential for Lumacy Slate We're building a platform for a community of teachers, and our aim is to be the #1 platform for planning. Now, there's a shortage of teachers in the world right now, and we're best placed to help the 25.8 million teachers worldwide. Thank you for listening. My name is Atif, and I look forward to speaking to you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, and that concludes our stellar, as you have put it, Josh, lineup. Can we just have one final round of applause for the team? That was fantastic. A couple of things before I just say a few thank yous and round things up. I can see there's a few startups and founders and entrepreneurs in here. I just want to say that from now on, Ignite is in Manchester, so some of the things that we're going to be doing from this point onwards, office hours every single week. Please go to our website, ignite.io. You can see we meet everyone from investors, partners, anyone that wants to come and meet us for advice or just for support. I just want to say that we are here. I can also announce that we are running our second pre-accelerator in Manchester in the autumn, in September. Applications will be open for that at the end of this month. So if you are somebody that might benefit from that, or you know someone that could, please put them in touch. And again, go to the website. We're looking for early stage founders. It's a complete set of free 4 workshops that fast tracks founders. And there's some success stories already coming out of it, which is great. And finally, my sort of big announcement is we are running our second accelerator program, just like this, in January of 2017. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you here again in 6 to 9 months. And I hope to God that our next cohort is as strong and potentially successful as these guys have been, because they've been fantastic. Finally, I'd like to round things off with just a couple of thank yous. We were lucky enough to have one of our key sponsors, Barclays, for the program. They've been fantastic in supporting us from day one. They've been involved with mentoring, workshops, and have supported the teams actually fantastically well. So I'd really like to thank them. They've been great. As well as Blue Sky, another one of our sponsors who have been involved with helping the teams from everything from cash flow forecasting to preparing as they come to get to grips with accounting when you start raising money. They've been fantastic too. And finally as well, the guys here at Rise, from Zara, Dan and Matt and the team here at the building, and Steve, Anka, the guys in Central Working that have looked after us, put up with us for the last 3 months. I really appreciate it. So we just have a good round of applause for those guys. I'd also like to thank our investors, some of which are in the room tonight. We couldn't do this without you, but we're backed by some of the very best. A lot of them have been extremely involved from start to finish as well, and I'd just like to personally thank you guys for investing in us and backing us. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you very much. Mentors, partners, people that have been involved with the program. I can see a lot of faces here that have been that have backed me personally from day one, that have been involved with the program to support the teams. They've been fantastic, and I think my biggest sort of thank you is to you guys. It's been fantastic. It's been the first program I've run with Ignite. It's been an absolute pleasure. I won't cry. I've enjoyed every second genuinely, and it's been a pleasure. So thank you so much for making it a good trip. Thank you very much. Plus, you can use the strings up as well. Plus. Finally, Tristan for supporting us and putting on the program and making this happen. Couldn't have done this without you either. Martin for supporting. But as you guys know standing here, literally I couldn't do this without Flossie. The way I put it is kind of like we're flying a plane. Flossie's the one in the cockpit that actually flies the plane, and I'm sort of the host that just serves drinks and like is on the mic. So honestly, a massive round of applause for our program manager, Flossie. And finally, I just want to say thank you to everyone here tonight. I know it's a Wednesday night, you don't have any reason to be here. This is the kind of support that makes this happen. It's great to see everyone here for one evening. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being so loud and energetic tonight. There's drinks, food and drinks and food at the back, so please enjoy. Have a great evening. Thanks again. Thank you very much.